To an observer standing on the moon, the sight of Earth stands in defiance of the rest of the solar system. It is a sapphire sphere wrapped in swirling white clouds, gleaming against an endless black backdrop. But to a cosmologist, this blue marble represents a physical paradox. We orbit a star that acts as a nuclear furnace. During the formation of the solar system, the area close to the young sun was simply too hot for water to condense. This thermal border, known as the frost line, dictated that planets in the inner neighborhood, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, were built from dry rock and metal. Heat should have vaporized every drop of moisture here billions of years ago. Our planet's birth was a violent demolition derby. 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized body named Theia collided with the proto-Earth. The impact liquefied the planet completely, blasting trillions of tons of molten rock into orbit to form our moon. This was a sterilization event. The intense heat would have annihilated any early atmosphere or traces of water, leaving the Earth parched and wobbling. In the aftermath, the Hadean Earth was a world of fire. The surface was a global lava field radiating heat into the dark vacuum. The sky was likely a hazy, toxic orange, choked with carbon dioxide and nitrogen. In this hellish landscape, liquid water was a physical impossibility. Any H2O molecule that touched the crust would have instantly flashed into steam and been lost to space. By the laws of planetary formation, the Earth should be a scorched rock, as barren as Mercury or as dusty as Mars. Instead, we are drowning in 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of water. It is a volume of liquid that theoretically should not exist. For decades, the leading explanation for Earth's hydration centered on the outer solar system. Scientists hypothesized that the oceans were delivered by comets during an era of chaos known as the Late Heavy Bombardment. These dirty snowballs are ancient remnants from the dawn of the solar system. Drifting in the cold reaches beyond Neptune, they are composed largely of frozen gas, dust, and water ice, ideal carriers for a cosmic delivery service. To test this theory, we had to compare the chemical signature of water on Earth with the water found on a comet. In 2014, the Rosetta spacecraft intercepted Comet 67P after a 10-year chase through the void, intending to chemically analyze its water vapor. Rosetta dropped a lander onto this jagged, icy surface to sniff the escaping steam and record its molecular makeup. The results were a mismatch. Water isn't always just H2O. The ratio of normal to heavy hydrogen acts as a fingerprint. Our chart shows Comet 67P's heavy hydrogen ratio was 3 times higher than Earth's oceans. This discovery ruled out comets as the primary source of our seas. Attention then shifted to carbonaceous chondrites, stony meteorites that act as cosmic sponges. Their mineral structure is rich in hydrous clays, with water molecules locked tightly inside the crystal lattice. These rocks formed in a region cold enough for moisture to survive, but not cold enough to form pure ice. While these asteroids likely delivered a late veneer of dampness just after the planet formed, the volume they provided was limited. The search for the primary source of the oceans leads not into space, but deep into the Earth itself. A radical theory suggests the Earth was born pregnant with oceans. Even in the heat of the early solar system, water molecules may have clung to the dust particles that originally coalesced to form the planet, burying the moisture thousands of miles beneath the surface. To test if solid rock holds water in the crushing heat of the interior, scientists used diamond anvil cells to recreate mantle conditions. They discovered that under extreme pressure, minerals morph into high-pressure forms that act like molecular cages. Chemically, these solid stones become saturated sponges. Evidence for this subterranean reservoir was found inside a diamond brought to the surface by a deep earth volcano. Inside the diamond was a speck of a mineral called ringwoodite. Ringwoodite forms in the transition zone, 400 to 600 kilometers deep. Analysis revealed it contained 1.5% water by weight. If this entire zone is similarly wet, it implies a hidden reservoir 3 times the volume of all surface oceans combined. We are floating on a hidden sea. The Atlantic and the Pacific are just surface pools, resting above a planet that is chemically saturated for hundreds of miles down. The young Earth was geologically violent, churning with radioactive heat that forced this buried moisture to the surface. Millions of volcanoes and vents acted as pressure release valves, spewing trillions of tons of water vapor into the sky. This era of great outgassing essentially sweated the oceans out of the rocks and into the atmosphere. As the planet cooled, the atmosphere reached a breaking point, and the Great Deluge began. It didn't rain for months, but for thousands of years. This relentless rainstorm dissolved atmospheric carbon and filled the jagged volcanic basins, transforming a world of fire into a world of water. Beyond its role as a habitat, this hydration serves as the planet's geological engine oil. Water molecules trapped in the crust soften the rock and reduce friction between tectonic plates. Without this lubrication, the Earth's crust would be rigid and seized. We see this on Venus, where the lack of water has resulted in a single, stagnant lid. Earth remains geologically alive only because its deep gears are slicked with moisture. This planetary hydration eventually became the foundation for biology. When life finally transitioned from the sea to dry land, it faced an environment that was dangerously parched. To survive, organisms had to internalize the ocean they were leaving behind. You are a vessel for this ancient sea. The human body is roughly 60% water, but your blood plasma, sweat, and tears are salty. The concentration of salt in your fluids is remarkably similar to the salinity of the primordial oceans where life first emerged. We never truly left the water. We simply built vessels of skin and bone to carry it with us. We are walking, breathing aquariums, sustained by the same cosmic traveler that has cycled through the Earth for 4 billion years.